I'm here with UFC Flyweight Jimmy the Brick Flick, who makes his UFC debut against Cody Durden on December 5th. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Just finished up amazing training. Just got home, got a good meal in, and now about to relax and hang out with the family.
I saw that it was your last hard day of CrossFit. How was that?
Oh, it was great. I've been at CrossFit for 3 days a week for the last 10 weeks and a little over a week out. I like to end my CrossFit, start focusing on just sharpening up the tools, make sure all the cardio is good, and just focus on the weight cut.
Um, I was kind of wanted to ask. So you fought at bantamweight for a few fights, and then like your career is going to be at flyweight. How hard of a weight cut is it to get down to flyweight?
It's not too bad, man. But I can make 135 on 24-hour notice. So, for example, if they needed me, this Friday, I'd be on weight, no problem. So, like the weight cut for 125, once I hit under 130, it gets a little tough, but I've already fought 3 times this year at 125. The only reason I ever fought at 135 is because it was so hard to find flyweight fights. And then I thought the UFC was going to cut the flyweight division. I was on a 2-fight winning streak at 125. I even took a fight at catchweight 130 against CJ Hamilton on 2 weeks' notice for LFA. So it comes normal to me. I've been wrestling my whole life, but just didn't know what the UFC was going to do with the flyweight division there for a long time. So then I went back to bantamweight, and then that's when I took the loss to Ray Rodriguez. And then after that, we found out the flyweight division was open again, and I've been back at flyweight ever since.
So before we get to your fight, I got to ask about your 2020. You've won 2 titles, a UFC contract, and you're just about to make your debut. How does that feel?
Oh, it's amazing, especially considering the pandemic that we're in. Didn't know quite for sure what was going to happen for 2020 this year. I did have 2 goals, and my 2 goals was not to drink pop and to make the UFC, and I've accomplished both of those goals.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Was there any hesitation about taking the fight on the Contender series, knowing that it was a short notice fight?
Man, it was a tough decision, that's for sure. Based on the fact that I've been in this sport for 10 years, I was hoping to go straight to the UFC after winning the LFA title, especially the way I won it. I won it in 38 seconds, have the second fastest win in LFA history. And but when they called and offered the Tuesday night contender, I felt like if I would have said no, it might have took me a lot longer to get that opportunity. I might have had to go back and defend my LFA title. I liked the matchup, fought another undefeated guy, and I had 4 weeks. It was 9 days after my LFA title fight. So we jumped right back into training camp, and it turned out great.
Yeah, your win on the Contender series was not only one of the best of the season, but I think it was one of the best of the show. It was dominant, and if people didn't know who Jimmy Flick was, they found out who Jimmy Flick was.
I appreciate it, man. That's what a lot of people keep telling me. And I feel like if that was a performance in the UFC, I would have got that 50K. So that's what I'm looking to go do next Saturday, December 5th. Go out there, put on a show. I know Cody's going to come forward. He's an aggressive fighter. I'm an aggressive fighter. We've been going back and forth on social media a little bit. So we're both excited for this fight. We're both looking to get our first UFC win.
Yeah, for sure. There's been some. It's getting kind of heated. Did you know that you were going to get that contract? And then, what was the emotion like when you hear your name after 10 years of grinding?
No, man, I didn't know if I was going to get the contract. A lot of people don't understand is I didn't get to see Dana White's reactions. I didn't get to hear what Daniel Cormier was saying, between rounds, how he was talking me up. When I did feel confident, though, was when I was in the back sitting in the chair, and Daniel Cormier said I was his #1 pick to win the UFC contract. But I was never 100% sure because I didn't know what Dana thought. I didn't know what Mick or Sean Shelby thought either. I felt I put on a good performance, but sometimes they can be, a little different against grapplers. So, but I was trying to finish the whole fight. I told him I was going to finish, and I did it in the third round. So when they actually announced my name and said I won the contract, it was a dream come true. And if I wasn't on national television, I probably would have dropped a lot of tears.
Yeah, your reaction when you got the contract and your reaction when you won the LFA title, it's just like it's pure emotion, and I love going back and watching it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I go back and watch it all the time. It's so crazy how it all happened. And like I said, during this pandemic, when I'm, in my 50s, I'm gonna be able to tell my kids about this, my grandkids about it, and they're not gonna believe it. It's gonna be something crazy to talk about in the future.
Right. No, for sure, for sure. So you've had 4 wins in less than a minute, and we're not talking about knockouts. We're talking about 4 submission wins. Is there any strategy behind that, or like what the hell's up with that?
Man, I just go forward. I like to fight. I like to get the fight started. And the quicker I win, the quicker I get paid. And that's what I like to do. Even as an amateur, I was 7-0 as an amateur with 6 fights in the first round, 1 in the second round, 3 of them in 30 seconds, and they were all by submissions as well. But I've been working on my Muay Thai a lot over at Forza Combat Sports, and it's even helped me actually tighten up my game to get the fight where I want to get it. And it's worked out amazing. And I got good stand-up. My coach knows I got good stand-up. My training partners know I got good stand-up. Just really haven't had to use it much. So, but wherever the fight goes, I'm ready. That's how I got the nickname The Brick. It's because my game's solid all over.
You're not lying. You're not lying. I did want to ask about Forza. So a lot of fighters from smaller gyms like Forza tend to migrate to AKA or ATT. What's the secret behind the scenes at Forza that makes it your gym?
Oh, man, Coach Leo, this guy is amazing, man. He runs a training camp around me with the whole team, and we bring guys in to work with me. I even have another guy, Zach, coming in today, Micah Stockton, Cody Carstetter, which is a wrestler for SMU. He came over and did a lot of wrestling with us for this fight camp. We got Jared Patterson, who was an OU Big 12 champion. He was there a lot for my LFA fight, and these guys taught me so much. And Coach Leo really evolves training around me when I'm in the gym, and he's even helped me with my eating habit. And my eating has always been my weakness, and I eat a lot better now. I watch my sodium. I stay away from bread, and it's just amazing. And I also jump around at another couple gyms around here in Tulsa, Thunder Kick Tulsa, Primate BJJ, and then I do my strength and conditioning at Sand Springs CrossFit, and they open the doors up to me. All the training partners over there know how to push me, motivate me every day, especially when I'm in there at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, getting that work in before I go to work. So it's amazing, and you put them all together, and it's just been awesome. And all my performances this year have showed.
For sure. No, for sure, for sure. And then finally, before your fight, so the flyweight division was on notice this last weekend at UFC 255, and are you even more motivated that there's an emerging star as the champion right now, and that there's a potential there's a potential huge moment to knock him out?
Oh yeah, most definitely. And then we also got Cody Garbrandt talking about coming to flyweight. I hope he makes the move to flyweight. The guy's got an amazing fan base. I don't think he can beat Figueroa at 125. I think it would have been smarter for him to take another fight before then, just to see how he does at 125. But I think it's going to bring a lot of fans to the flyweight division. And our champ is dominating right now, and it would be a dream come true to get matched up with him in the future. So I'm ready to go out there and put a show on against Cody Durden and see what's next.
So speaking of Cody Durden, what are your thoughts on him as an opponent?
He's a well-rounded opponent, man. He's fought for a long time as well. He's been on the grind. I know he likes to come forward. He likes to get pressure on you. He likes to get you against the cage, take you down. I'm excited, man. I like to come forward. I'm just ready to see what happens. See if we keep the fight standing or see if it goes to the ground. Nate was a Olympic, what was it, freestyle Greco-Roman champ, or uh, I think bronze medalist or something, you know. So that guy had a lot of wrestling experience as well. I wrestled mainly as a kid and in high school. And then in high school, I got a little dumb and, you know, started being a little crazy. And I dropped out of school at 17. And then I made the move to jiu-jitsu. I just got my black belt this year after that Tuesday night Contender win. So I'm ready to go out there and showcase all my skills no matter where the fight goes.
So not only did you get 2 titles and a UFC contract, and you're making a UFC debut, you also got your black belt.
Yes, sir, man. So 2020 has been a dream come true. So now we're ready to go end it with a bang on December 5th.
You were a underdog in your last 2 fights. Do you feel any different knowing that you're a favorite heading into this one?
No, I think a lot of other people are disappointed though, because it's a lot harder to make money when I'm a favorite. But it's never bothered me, man. I don't bet on myself either because I feel like you can put more pressure on yourself if you bet on yourself. I leave that to everybody else. I did see one person have me as the favorite, but it doesn't bother me none. Either way, I'm going out there. We're going to go punch each other in the face, and I plan on going out there and getting the win regardless.
And then finally, how do you see this fight going down?
I always predict a finish, man. It doesn't matter how, but I know every time I go in there, I'm going to dominate and I'm going to finish. It doesn't matter how it happens. I just want to finish. I don't want to hit the scorecards because you never know what these judges are going to see. And I have one loss on my record where I fought a guy in his hometown. I took him down every round, had his back every round, controlled him for more than 3-4 minutes of the whole fight. And I got a little damage done to me, but they gave him the fight by unanimous decision. And ever since then, I've never been to the scorecards, and I do everything in my power to try to finish the fight. Even the Nate fight, I mean, there was no way that I should have lost on any scorecard in that whole fight, but you never know. So that's why I was glad to get the finish in the third round and solidify that UFC contract.
That's right. Yeah, no, the UFC judges are. It's a whole nother topic and we can talk about it for hours. It's
Right.
it's wild. I just want to say thank you for your time, and if you want to plug your social media and your sponsors, the floor is yours.
Yeah, man. If y'all want to follow me on Jimmy the Brick Flick, my fan page, I'm all out of friend request on my personal page, Jimmy Flick. And then if you can follow me on Instagram at the Brick MMA, I'd really appreciate it. Shout out to all my sponsors for the support. I ain't got my list here, but they know who they all are. I always, plug them on everything. I appreciate them for all the support. Everybody that follows me, shares my posts. I can't wait to go out there and put on a show. And thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jimmy.